From the Center for Music Learning, I'm Dr. Micah Killian, here with some thoughts on practice. Great practice is where change happens. When practicing, artist-level musicians make noticeable improvements to how they perform passages of music. And this may seem kind of obvious on big-time scales, like years, because every expert was at some point a total beginner. So it's pretty self-evident that they got better at performing music over the years of learning that they've been practicing. But what about small time scales? What sort of improvement happens over minutes or even seconds of learning during practice? Well, here's the thing. Making change happen on big time scales is the collective result of lots of experiences making change happen on very small time scales. And expert practicers, the best musicians you know, they make change happen in very short periods of time. But this can be hard to notice in your own practice if you're not used to listening for it. To show you what I'm talking about, here's a video of a very good friend of mine, Carolyn Braus. Carolyn's an incredible musician. She's currently principal saxophone of the United States Air Force Concert Band. And here we're going to watch her make some observable change during a practice session of hers. So here's the first trial that she takes in this practice session of this particular passage. And then for 12 minutes, she practices. She does some stuff and thinks some stuff. And after all of that, she sounds like this. Now, she's not done working on this passage, but the improvement that she makes over those 12 minutes is crystal clear. And that clear change is the reason she plays at such a high level. Although I don't have a lot of videos of her practice, my guess is that she's making this amount of change happen almost every time she practices. So if you want to get a better idea of how much change that typically happens in your practice sessions, first, set up a recording device and record your practice session. Then identify the first time you try a passage that you're working on in a practice session and the last time that you play that same passage. Then watch them back to back so you get a better idea of how much change you just made happen. Doing this will give you great feedback about how your typical practice activities either are or are not leading to observable changes in your music making. Making this a regular part of your practice will give you the opportunity to adjust and adapt what you do during practice to make more change happen in smaller periods of time. In other words, you'll practice more effectively.